morning, everyone. I welcome you all for this peer FTP. Mahatma Gandhi said that a true textbook for the pupil is his teacher. He believed that a teacher who taught from a textbook didn't impart originality to his pupil. It is this gospel that is followed by us at DME Media School, where the focus of teaching is not from the textbook, but incorporating a balanced mix of theoretical knowledge with the practical happening. Teaching at DME Media School is considered as an art of storytelling, where narratives are used to ignite curiosity among the students and to develop hands-on skills. The idea is to develop curiosity, leading to acquiring of knowledge, understanding of issues, thus developing out-of-box thinking, which is ultimately the goal of journalism and mass communication course. Teachers at DME Media School also aspire for teaching with passion and purpose, because here we teachers believe in building one-to-one relationship, a bonding between teachers and the students, a relationship that is not limited only to college, but a bonding for life. Keeping these objectives in mind, the idea of peer FDP was initiated to showcase various approaches of teaching adopted by DME Media School faculty members in order to inculcate knowledge and critical thinking among the students. The idea is not to make the teaching simply a prayog, but to make teaching a thought process that goes into developing the overall persona of the student. When I say overall persona, it means a harmonious blend of intellect, curiosity, and rationality in an individual, that is the student. However, for us, the DME faculty teaching, teaching is not just limited between us and students. It is also between teachers and teachers too. The media faculty room becomes classroom where issues are discussed threadbare, observations shared. The environment is not just learning, but also enjoying every moment of teaching, thereby contributing towards the achievement of better life and quality life. To end, once again, coming back to Gandhiji, who said, a teacher who establishes rapport with the taught becomes one with them. He further added, if I was to be their real teacher and guardian, I must touch their heart. I must share their joy and sorrow. I must help them to solve the problems that face them, and I must take along the right channel the surging aspirations of the youth. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna ma'am, for putting it so eloquently. I invite our director, Dr. Ravikant Swami, to please address the audience.
Well, height has got many advantages, but one disadvantage when you come to the mic, sometimes I feel like putting it like this. But then, Vice Chairman sir, Dean sir, Dr. Bala and my dear faculty members, if I ask you a question, how many teachings of your teachers you remember or recall lucidly? How many teachings? Probably very few. Very few. Isn't it? Or there are so many?
There are many.
There are many, sir.
Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah.
I'm a reflection of a teacher.
But I can tell you, the teachings of our teachers which we can recall very clearly, or which we remember, or which we can reproduce lucidly are few. Right? Means I hardly remember anything which means there are very few things. Like in the 8th class, my biology teacher taught me something like peristalsis. I remember that. But then what other things were taught to me in the 8th class, probably I do not remember. But then the second question is, how many things we remember which our peers have told us? So therefore, we say there are two ways of learning. One is the vertical way, another is the horizontal way. Vertical is when we attend a class, the teacher is speaking and we learn. So that is vertical. What we are doing today is horizontal learning. I can tell you that horizontal learning is equally significant, if not more significant than vertical learning. So first of all, I must appreciate and congratulate the media department for coming up with this initiative which is talking about horizontal or peer-to-peer learning. I can tell you it has great advantages. When I use Excel, means people tell me that how do you do these things on Excel? And I can tell you when I did my MBA, Excel was not existing. We used to call it Lotus at that time. but then I learned Excel from my friends and my colleagues. So peer-to-peer learning is something which can have very fruitful results. So this exercise has got a clear objective, and that is horizontal learning. I can tell you it will have fruitful results. Well, about teaching, I can tell you that teaching is something which involves procedures. If you follow a particular set of procedure, the output is bound to be there. Now, what is the procedure we are talking about? The procedure is, say for example, I go to a class, I talk on a topic, say FDI. So I may talk with the students, but at the end of the lecture, the students may not grasp the way they will grasp if I follow a particular procedure. What is that procedure? The procedure is, I prepare a particular set of notes, or PPTs as we call it these days. I disseminate it among the students before the class. When I go to the class, I discuss it with them. And then at the end of the class, we have a particular set of conclusion. If a procedure is followed, I can tell you teaching can always be more effective. Particularly in the age of internet, when everything is already available on the net. So, as a teacher, we have to move, we have to go to the next level, in the sense that don't try to teach what is already available on the net. Students don't need that. They don't need. YouTube has got better teachers than us. I'm sure you are, say any topic, you see it on the YouTube, and we have excellent teachers there. Even the authors, all the authors like Philip Kotler, like Fred Luthans, like Robbins, they are available, their own lectures are available on the YouTube. So, in this age of internet, where Wikipedia and YouTube is providing everything, we need to move one level up, and we need to come to the discussion level in the class. So, I'm sure that this program is going to get very fruitful results, and congratulations to the media cell for coming up with such a program. Yesterday only Dr. Purva sent me a WhatsApp that why the management school doesn't plan a program like the media school. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. I believe that in this horizontal line there would be some incline when we learn from the more learned people here. And I request our Vice Chairman, Mr. Aman Sahni, to please address the gathering and inaugurate the event formally.
Hello, good morning. Small crowd, but it's good. It's I think easier to work a small crowd. So I think it's a great endeavor for the media school to have peer learning, this FDP, and more so because obviously everything that the director has said, which relates to how it improves everyone academically in the classroom, but also as a team, and which is one of our things, one of those things that are there in our in that activity that we did last year, and we selected the characteristics that we all wish to imbibe, the TME ethos. So it is one of them to work collaboratively and as a team. So I think it's a great endeavor in that way as well, that we are looking to help each other as we grow ahead, and also that all of us are able to narrow down upon one thing that we think we can teach other people. That is obviously very good, that we can start to identify our strengths and also work upon our weaknesses. I'm sure some of the things that you will learn from other people would be your weakness, and it's always great to take stock of what is your strength and what is your weakness, and further strengthen your strengths and improve upon your weaknesses. So it's a great initiative all round, and should be highly fruitful. And there are so many things that we don't know generally, as much as we would like to know about things, as much as we have access to the internet, as much as we would like to say that we've read and are scholars in our fields. There are always things that we can learn, and everyone needs a little bit of help. And like the Beatles song goes, you get by with a little bit of help. I get by with a little bit of help from my friends. So it's that sort of ambience over here, that sort of spirit of friendship, of trust, of learning from each other, of helping each other and enjoying each other's success, and hope this goes a long way. Thank you, and I wish the 2-day FDP all the best, all of you all the best, and declare it open. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. This peer FDP of making this event happen, the idea was, of course, of our dean, Dr. Ambrish Saxena, and he decided the topic that would be tools and techniques of media teaching. So I invite him here to take the dais, address the gathering, and begin with his first presentation.
Vice Chairman Aman Sahaniji, Director Dr. Ravikant Swami, Head Media School Dr. Susmita Bala, and my colleagues. This whole idea came long back, and the first experiment I did with regard to peer-to-peer learning when I was director in WIPS. When I joined DME last year, in January 2019, the first peer FDP was organized, and that was again a 2-day activity, and that proved very fruitful. Wherein every teacher, the way somebody teaches, despite whatever uniform practices we adopt as teachers, but then everybody has his or her own trait as a teacher. And when it comes to deliver in the class, so obviously there will be certain such things which will be the exclusive things with regard to that particular teacher, which makes his or her teaching effective. Though we prescribe that this PPT is made, but then in media there are a lot of such subjects wherein simply PPT does not do. Because when it comes to learning, otherwise also I believe it has to be a multiple approach, wherein in a particular subject you might be having a different kind of methodology, but within the subject also there might be certain such topics wherein the one-way delivery will not do, and the way the teaching is changing all over the world. Teaching can never be the one-way affair wherein teacher is coming to the class, delivering a lecture, whether with PPT or without PPT, but then if there is no communication happening from both the sides, then learning will not take place. And nowadays, I believe there is hardly any difference between a teacher and the taught. For two reasons. One, obviously in higher education there is little age gap also between the teacher and the taught, because if anybody, like many of our teachers in media school are young, and if there is a student of 18, 19 or 20 years, there are teachers who are 23, 24, 25, 26 years, so the age gap is very, very less. So in such a case, if the exchange is not happening, if the sharing of knowledge is not happening, then the teaching can never be effective. So for this reason, I believe that if every teacher, whatever techniques or tools you are using while teaching, if that sharing happens, say for instance, as the topics by all the teachers have been decided, and if you look at the topics which any teacher has chosen for himself or herself, then you can make out that how every teacher is thinking diversely as far as the use of the tools and the techniques are concerned. For instance, if I give you an example as to how this diversity matters in our teaching. When I was director in iZones, which is part of News 24, there a different kind of experiment I did. Obviously, my fellow teachers, they also gave their idea, and the experiment that we did, we started teaching with the help of videos. Now the advantage there was that videos were available because that was a news channel, and in a news channel a lot of programs are made, and if we look into the functioning of a news channel, there are certain news reports or the news bulletins which are broadcast by a news channel, and then there are programs which are made. Nowadays there is less emphasis on programs in most of the channels, and everybody is into broadcast or news only. But then in News 24, what I found, they had made over the years excellent programs. And those programs were in the nature of the documentaries. Basically, there could be 15, 20 or 30 minutes documentary and on diverse subjects, on great personalities or great events, all such programs were available. So what I did, I talked to the library people there who were keeping and preserving all those videos, and then I decided to show the video and then have the discussion, and that is how the learning was possible. There it would be possible for also one reason, because there the syllabus was not that watertight as prescribed by some university. Here we are bound by the syllabus that is prescribed by the university, and then accordingly the course is to be completed, and the examination has to take place the way it is prescribed by the university. But then if we have a system wherein we have certain flexibility in terms of content, in terms of delivery, and in terms of examination, then obviously lot many experiments can be done, as I did in iZooms. So like video could be one way wherein the teaching can be possible. Here also I have been thinking how to introduce video in teaching, but then for that we have to have the videos. So that kind of video content generation has to take place first, or we tie up with some outside organization which can provide us that kind of video which can be helpful in teaching. The other way could be wherein we based on some brainstorming sessions in the class, and either we tell the students in advance as to on what topic the class is to take place tomorrow, or some study material is supplied, and then there could be some discussion happening in the class, and based on that discussion the learning is taking place. Because nowadays the teaching is almost obsolete. There is practically no teaching happening at this stage, as I said, wherein there is little difference between teacher and the taught, and then also for the reason that the way the technology has penetrated into our lives. So we as a teacher have access to the same sources of information which any student can access. 20-25 years back, that gap was there wherein teacher used to have more access to the information and students did not have that access. And in my student life, if I remember, in the universities, library was the only source. And that is how in most of the universities, the libraries were open for late hours. In most of the residential universities, it was till 8 or 9 or 10, and in certain universities, even today, the libraries are open round the clock. So that was the only source for the teacher. That was the source available to teachers. But then, obviously, the students were having their limitation. But nowadays, that is no more there. When I have been teaching in Indian Institute of Mass Communication, I realized this. That kind of challenge is certainly not there in an institute like DME. But then in good institutions, and particularly in the institutions which have a master's degree or postgraduate courses, there is a different kind of challenge that the teachers have. Like I had different kind of experience in Indian Institute of Mass Communication. Obviously, that's a PG course, and the selection process is very tough. So the quality of students is certainly, if I don't say better, but then they are more oriented. They know what exactly is to be done and what for they have taken admission there, which that clarity lacks obviously in a student who has just passed the 12th examination. So in radio TV journalism, the students had the habit of keeping all their mobiles with recording on the table. So if I am taking the class as a teacher, there are 20 students who are recording my lecture. So there is no chance of committing a mistake. Because if you are committing a mistake, they will listen the recording later and then they will pinpoint that this is the wrong thing that you have told in the class. So these kind of challenges are there. I mean, I once remember I was taking a class in radio TV journalism in IMC, and there was one student who was sitting in the last row and might be doing something, and I was noticing that he is doing something and not paying attention to what I was telling in the class, and suddenly he stood up and said कि सर आपने ये fact बताया था but Google में तो ये आ रहा है. So that kind of challenges are there, even a small slip and you are caught. So even if that kind of challenges are not there in DME Media School, but still, I believe that all those teachers who have started their career 1 year, 2 year, 3 years back, so they must be cautious on these things, because as you grow up as teacher, you will certainly meet such kind of challenges. Here also we should try to focus on the growth of our students, wherein they start questioning us. Because if questioning is not happening, no learning is possible. I always, everywhere here also, whenever I come to the class, I always ask the teacher I always ask the students to challenge the teachers. Because if you as a teacher are not getting any challenge from the students, you will never learn. You will be in a very relaxed mode, because you know whatever you will teach will be acceptable to the students. Nobody will be putting up questions, nobody will be asking that this thing does not happen the way it has been told to them in the class. So as if that is not happening, that is also our responsibility to poke the students, to motivate them, to instigate them, to take them to the level wherein they develop a habit of asking questions. Once that happens, you will also go prepared to the class, and that will ultimately lead to your growth only. So one must be ready to take those kind of challenges, and we should try to introduce innovation in our teaching to the extent possible. Because the greatest challenge before us is how to make the teaching interesting. And one of the main reasons which I have diagnosed for the less attendance in the class is this only, because in the internet age, most of the students feel that they are not getting any such thing by going to the class, by attending the class, which is otherwise not available. So if everything is available on Google, which they feel, and if they are sitting at home can go through that whatever the teacher will be teaching in the class, they will never come to the class. I mean, there are multiple factors, but this is also one major factor which makes us to understand that we have to work on the quality of our teaching, and we have to make it so interesting that teachers will definitely come to the class. And if the teacher's quality is good, then there is no reason that why the students will not be coming to the class. Till 4 or 5 years back, I have been experiencing this, that whenever, and I was going there as a guest faculty, whenever my class was scheduled, like if my class was scheduled in Hindi journalism, I always discovered कि English journalism वाले भी आके बैठ गए, RTV वाले भी आके बैठ गए कि सर आपका class attend करना है. So if I can enjoy this kind of response even as a guest faculty, wherein the students feel that this is one teacher where they will get something. So we must always try to achieve that level, wherein instead of fighting with the problem of less attendance, you get the response कि जब भी आपका class है, सारे स्टूडेंट उस क्लास को इन एनी केस अटेंड कर रहे हैं, और कोई क्लास अटेंड करे या ना करे. So that should be the endeavor any teacher should try to have in his or her career, and you have to make the whole process of learning, the whole activity of learning interesting, wherein you are also enjoying while delivering in the class, and the students are also enjoying. And I can give you a very latest experience that I had about 15 days back. In the first year, perhaps it was in C section, I was teaching some RTI or some topic in press laws. And continuously I took 2 or 3 sessions. Every day I was taking one session. So that continuity is normally not maintained on my part because if some class is in B section, then another in B section, another class will happen after a week. So that continuity is not there. But incidentally, for 3 days I was taking classes in C section, and then 2-3 students stood up and said कि सर हमें तो पता ही नहीं था कि लॉ इतना इंटरेस्टिंग है, पहले पता होता तो हमने LLB में एडमिशन ले लिया होता. So this means नॉर्मली क्या होता है, हम सारे लोग ये समझते हैं कि अरे ये तो लॉ डिफिकल्ट सब्जेक्ट है, रिसर्च डिफिकल्ट सब्जेक्ट है. जब हमने एज ए टीचर मान लिया कि डिफिकल्ट सब्जेक्ट है, फिर वी विल नेवर बी एबल टू मेक दैट सब्जेक्ट इजी टू द स्टूडेंट्स. सो दिस इज अगेन वन मेजर चैलेंज कि हम किसी भी सब्जेक्ट को इजी कैसे बना सकते हैं स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. जो नॉर्मली ये परसेप्शन है कि ये सब्जेक्ट तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है. लॉ में भी यही है, LLB जो करता है ठीक है, दे डेलिबरेटली टेक अप ए पर्टिकुलर कोर्स, बट BJMC में nobody comes to join BJMC thinking that he or she will be studying something related to law. और जब वो कहते हैं प्रेस लॉ तो लगता है कि कोई बहुत ही भारी चीज है, समझ में नहीं आएगी. बट मैंने पढ़ाया तो उनको वो सब्जेक्ट इंटरेस्टिंग लगने लगा. तो दिस इज द चैलेंज दैट वी हैव कि कैसा भी सब्जेक्ट हो, वी हैव टू मेक दैट इजी टू द स्टूडेंट्स. वंस दे टेक दैट सब्जेक्ट इजी, देन ऑब्वियसली देयर रिस्पांस विल बी डिफरेंट. सो दैट इज हाउ we should try to learn in this whole 2-day workshop, 2-day FDP. And it's not that everybody has made a presentation, everybody has decided a topic for himself or herself, but that's not the only objective. And whatever presentation you have made, you come here, make a presentation, and some of your fellow colleagues, they listen to that, or somebody do not listen to that, somebody go out for some time. That's not the objective. The objective is interaction. The objective is exchange, wherein if you are making a presentation, there are certain questions which are being asked by your fellow teachers, and an exchange happens, because there can be no better way of learning than sharing of knowledge. So we, in this peer FDP, we should try to focus more on sharing of knowledge so that everybody learns from others. So that's the sole objective. And on a continuous basis, we are able to hold it. Last year, we held it in the beginning of January before the classes started. But this time there were some other activities planned during that time, so we could not organize it that time. So I thought this is the opportunity which we should grab, because for today and tomorrow there will be no classes because of Anbun, so we can utilize this. So I think everybody will enjoy participating in this peer FDP, and we all learn from each other. Thank you all.
The teaching method was one of the important part is content. The major part is content. It should be logically blended with the main subject for relevant context. So it should be very clear. We have a habit of talking in a vague manner, like education in India. Education in India is one thing. Taking a subject in a totality is one thing, and taking a subject in a sectorial or a categorical manner is very important. So content generation should be related to the sectorial and the categorical part. जैसे पब्लिक रिलेशंस की कोई केस स्टडी होगी आपकी, ठीक है ना, आपने पब्लिक रिलेशंस की कोई केस स्टडी पढ़ी और आप उसको बताने गए कि मारुति ऑल्टो गाड़ी कभी बंद नहीं करेगी. हमारे पास ये केस स्टडी है, मारुति की जो ऑल्टो है वो फ्लैगशिप कार है, वो कभी बंद नहीं होगी, उसमें इनोवेशन ऐड हो सकती है. ब्रीफली अलग है, डिस्कस अलग है, एलैबोरेट करना अलग है. तो वाइल सिलेक्शन ऑफ वर्ड, वाइल क्रिएशन, जस्ट इवैल्यूएट व्हाट ही विल बी राइटिंग.
The second introduction to this topic was utilizing this image of Amit Shah, and this is a popular meme template as of now. आप chronology समझिए. For improving comprehension, because a lot of times the concepts we see this problem with our students, there is no conceptual clarity, or there is at least a lack of conceptual clarity. So I think utilizing memes would help us, clarify it better. So this Batman and Robin meme, that's what I have utilized it for, so that they would remember each time they are thinking about how to decide what is the target audience, they will remember that this is what they have to think about.
When you are writing your cautious, you take care of the rules, you take care of the grammar, you read it, you reread it, check, and if there are any flaws, you can talk to your colleagues, talk to anyone, talk to someone who knows English, get it corrected, then it's fine. But when you speak, there are no checks. एक बार जो बोल दिया वो बोल दिया. How many of us have introduced ourselves by using this word? How many? I have heard many of them. It's a possessive pronoun. You can't use a possessive pronoun. What is at the rate? At the rate is something that we connote or that we use when we are talking in terms of price or in terms of money. Something, उस चीज का rate क्या है? At the rate. I am selling potatoes at the rate 2 rupees per kg. But when we use email IDs or when we say email IDs, it should always be deepazuchi@gmail.com. It is not at the rate. What do you mean by good name? I mean, what does it exactly mean? It means nothing. It is just a funny translation of Shubhna.
Which has not passed.
हाँ, outgoing to मतलब 6 semester वाला.
Is in the transcript.
So graduated is the most appropriate.
हाँ, the batch which has graduated, just graduated.
Yeah, I'm a
It's like-
graduate of such and such
Yes,
batch.
yes. I wanted to do this topic because this is what we say.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistake. So that is why.
नहीं लेकिन आर्मी वगैरह में उसमें पास्ड आउट परेड होती है लेकिन सेंचुरीज acceptable हो जाती हैं in a certain meaning, connoting a certain meaning, and then they are acceptable that way. Nobody goes into whether it's completely correct or completely pure or not.
Yes.
My topic for today's discussion is teaching aids for effective interactive lectures. Somewhat related to what Atul sir explained. जो techniques उन्होंने explain करी हैं, similar techniques I have explained in my presentation. The only difference is he explained it in a very generalized way. I have explained them, relating them to the subjects that I take. The second, third and fourth objectives are my personal objectives when I'm going to take the lecture for the print journalism class. The second objective is inculcating the habit of reading among students. Since the subject that I take is print journalism, since the course is all about journalism, I really want my students to have a habit of reading. Because I believe if they do not read a newspaper, if they do not know what newspaper is, beyond the theory, what actually gives us news, अगर उनको वो चीज़ नहीं पता होगी, they will not understand the subject. Because print journalism is a practical subject. Although we have theory in it, but solely it is a practical subject. उसमें अगर वो practical knowledge, practical तरीके से नहीं लेंगे, तो it will not be of any use to them. Why are the teaching aids important? मैंने इसमें picture attach करी है of active learning and passive learning. Maximum knowledge जो हम retain करते हैं, that is done when we are gaining knowledge through practical ways.
I'm talking about learning emotional quotient in classrooms. So just asking, actually it's very unfortunate कि कोई भी नहीं है. This was more about teamwork and everything. He should also be a healthy, happy individual, which is very important. The current generation that we are teaching is very depressed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need to focus on the fact that we focus both on IQ and EQ.
Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to recognize, interpret, and process emotions in yourself and others. While genetics, upbringing, and environment all play a role.
देखते ही आपके मन में पहला सवाल आया होगा कि अगर 17 साल पहले तो लोगों ने मिलकर एक फैसला नहीं लिया होता, मुझे अडॉप्ट करने का फैसला, और ये फैसला उन्होंने कोई चाकरी करने के लिए नहीं लिया था तो बस खुशी के लिए, प्यार के लिए। आज आप वही फैसला लेने वाले हैं जो उन्होंने 17 साल पहले लिया था।
कि अभी मैम ने अभी जो डॉक्यूमेंट्री दिखाई, जो छोटी सी ऑडियो विजुअल दिखाया, तो आदमी उससे भी प्रभावित हो सकता है। 20 मिनट तक वो एकदम सोच में पड़ जाए और उसकी कार्य क्षमता उससे प्रभावित हो सकती है। तो कहने का मतलब आप कह रहे हैं कि मैं मोटिवेट होके आती हूँ, लेकिन आप भी जब जाती हैं तो डीमोटिवेटेड जाती हैं।
I would personally actually reveal that I also suffer from the same issues from time to time. Maybe not all the time, but from time to time. There is, we all would agree with it. Let's be honest about it. There is no work-life balance in our lives as of now, and we are struggling with it every single day. So when we are, ourselves trying to make it work for ourselves, how do you think we can actually make our students learn how to deal with it?
मतलब you cannot replicate the systems that are outside. Even if you try and replicate it, you do not get the results. अब हमारे एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के लिए ब्लूप्रिंट का काम करते हैं अभी MBA कॉलेजेस, है ना। MBA कॉलेजेस में सबसे ज़्यादा गैप है टीचर स्टूडेंट के बीच में, ठीक है। वहाँ पे आपको मशीन बनने की ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है, ठीक है। एंड देन दैट इज़ व्हाट द अदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस आल्सो स्टार्ट फॉलोइंग, एंड इट स्टार्ट्स हैविंग इट्स ओन इम्पैक्ट ऑन द मतलब पूरा एक तरीके से बिहेवियर पे आपका असर पड़ने लगता है। देन सडनली यू आर सेइंग कि हमें उनके इमोशनल क्वोशेंट को वो करना है, हमें नर्चर करना है, जबकि अपना इमोशनल क्वोशेंट जो होता है वो डिस्टर्ब्ड होता है।
दिस इमोशनल क्वोशेंट एक्चुअली इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ सोशल इमोशनल लर्निंग, जिसको मैंने बहुत कट डाउन करके इमोशनल क्वोशेंट पे लाया, एंड दिस इज नॉट बीइंग इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन इंडियन करिकुलम।
Good afternoon, and we are back for PRFDP, and the methodology that I use is critical discourse analysis. The concept of critical discourse analysis came to my mind few months back when I was working on my PhD, and I was trying to decipher the media aspect, the communication aspect of my topic. And while doing the deciphering and explanation of how media functions, I was trying to find out what could be the new thing that I can bring out in my PhD, so that when it goes for evaluation, people should know that there is something new angle which has been given on this. Once that base is created, that means the interest is generated, you move from theoretical part, base is also created through theory. Being a political science student, it's very important. I associate everything with theoretical underpinning. What exactly is the theory talking about? So once that base is created, the basic backgrounder is created, historical context is given, we move to the practical aspect. Can this theory be related to practical aspect? As a crisis communication student myself, I've realized every crisis has a theoretical underpinning.
My topic is discussion and students' participation as an effective teaching strategy in the classroom. I second you. Well, before moving on, I just want to know from everyone, if you have ever, you might all have your own philosophy or thoughts on what is the purpose of education. I have viewed education in many different ways, but a few years back, about 2 or 3 years back, I had the good fortune of meeting Kamala Bhasin ma'am. She had visited our university and she had delivered a lecture, and of all the wonderful things she said, there was one takeaway that really touched me for life. The purpose of education is not simply to earn a living, but to learn how to live our lives. And this really stayed with me. And ever since then, and that was at a stage of my PhD where I was really not enjoying. I was frustrated, I was stressed. And like every other person who is pursuing PhD, I was just waiting for it to, how do I get over this?
Knowledge is the base of everything. Without knowledge, you cannot do anything. You cannot discuss, you cannot grow, you cannot even make humor without knowledge. There can be no humor if you don't have knowledge about the things that are happening around you. That also takes knowledge. So everything is based on that. So education should be about improving yourself, making yourself better every day.
The way I've started believing कि क्या चीज़ incorporate करनी चाहिए in your teaching methodology or something that I personally follow. जो मेरे को ये चीज़ बहुत bother करती है वो ये करती है कि जब हम 2005 में पढ़ रहे थे, 5 से 8 में मेरा जब graduation हुआ, उसके बाद 9 से 11 में जब हम अपनी masters कर रहे थे, the same set of books are being repeated. हम उस समय हमारे टीचर हमें वही बुक्स बता रहे थे, ठीक है, फिर हम उनको वही बता रहे हैं। और पुरानी बुक्स के जब नए एडिशंस आते हैं तो उसमें केस स्टडी के अलावा कुछ नहीं बदलता,
वो भी कभी नहीं बदलता,
वो भी नहीं
change
बदलता,
होता है।
ठीक है। और अगर हम 2000 से लेके 2020 तक की बात करें तो there have been tremendous changes in terms of technology, in terms of the way businesses have they conduct, और वो किस तरह से चीज़ें बदलती जा रही हैं. What we are teaching through books and what is the requirement of the industry. तो ये क्या हुआ कि इंडस्ट्री बहुत तेज़ी से आगे चली गई और एकेडमिया बहुत पीछे रह गया. सो दैट गैप वो शुरू हुआ और वो शुरू होते होते नाउ द गैप हैज़ वाइडेंड अ लॉट. तो द थिंग इज़ कि अब जब हम बच्चों को, अब मैं अपने सब्जेक्ट के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बताता हूँ कि जब हम कॉर्पोरेट कम्युनिकेशन पढ़ाते हैं तो कॉर्पोरेट कम्युनिकेशन में मिशन स्टेटमेंट की बात होती है, विजन स्टेटमेंट की बात होती है. अब मिशन स्टेटमेंट कैसे लिखा जाना चाहिए, मिशन स्टेटमेंट होता क्या है? एवरी बुक, एवरी वेबसाइट says the same thing, that mission statement is about telling people, the stakeholders, the potential customers or the consumers about your audience, about what you are dealing with right now. Nothing more, nothing less. इसके beyond 2-4 characteristic बता देंगे. It has to be short, it has to be crisp, it has to be informative, it has to be catchy. Now the students are confused कि इसको short भी रखना है, इसको informative भी रखना है. क्या हम इसको 2 सेंटेंसेस में ब्रेक कर सकते हैं? और जब वो किसी वेबसाइट पे जाते हैं और देखते हैं तो उनको पता लगता है कि उनको मिशन स्टेटमेंट उसकी वेबसाइट पे मिला ही नहीं. तो इसका मतलब द बुक्स दैट वी आर रेफरिंग टू एंड व्हाट वी हैव बीन टेलिंग देम, दे हैव बिकम एब्सोल्युटली आउटडेटेड एंड दे आर नॉट सर्विंग द पर्पस.
It might sound preachy as I'm like, all of you have more teaching years of experience than me. Many of these things I've observed from you, and so yeah. 1984 की बात है. एक लड़की होती है, वो टिपिकल मिडिल क्लास फैमिली, सरदार फैमिली. शी गेट्स मैरिड टू अ सरदार, फैट गाय, मैकेनिक. No, I'll get to that. It's not body shaming. It's not body shaming at all. She gets married to him. She has typical notions. She has seen Bollywood films. She wanted some, those really good-looking Delhi people she would see when she would go to her mother to CP. But she got married to this guy whom she did not like at all. First thing she noticed was he was very hairy. Was not very street smart. Did not know English. But eventually, as she got to know him, she started liking him. She used to call him Sardarji. She used to just call him Sardarji. And as she got to know him better, she said she slowly fell in love. She said in the ways that people in real life do. So they had a home in Tilak Nagar. The home was here, 2nd floor, and his shop was there, two shops down. That day he was repairing bikes as usual. There were talks of some disturbance, something. The streets were more quiet than usual. They lived in a colony where mostly Sardars lived. Afternoon time now, he was a good guy. This young college kid had come to get his bike repaired. So although everyone had closed, he was like, "Chalo, theek hai." This guy had come all this way and nothing is available. There's a curfew on. So he thought, okay, I'll repair it. He repaired it. The kid was rushing, ki nahi, jaldi karo. He repaired it and this girl was standing on the balcony waving to him, "Are, aa jao. The year was 1984. Everybody made the connection. So he was there, he was standing, and as he started walking down, a mob came from there and she froze. She froze on the balcony. She did not have enough presence of mind at that point of time to tell him, jaldi karo. She didn't do that. She just froze. And he was not very quick. He tried to come. The mob got to him. He was in his banyan. They caught him in his banyan, turned him around, played with him. Somebody had a pole they had taken away from a gate and they impaled him. She saw it from the balcony and she just sat on the balcony. His dead body lay there behind the building and there she sat. She didn't know what to do. If अगर आप कुछ ही पढ़ा रहे, the jokes they make, you use them, ध्यान तो खींचता है, they listen better the next time. कंट्रोल. कुछ दिन पहले यहाँ पे BBA की कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही थी. अगर डायरेक्टर सर भी बैठे होते तो मैं ये वाला एग्जांपल नहीं देता. सो सैटरडे का दिन था, मैं यहाँ पे बैठा हुआ था. एक्चुअली अच्छे स्पीकर्स थे. सो एंड में एक थी सिस्टर कमला. So many religious people had come and was talk about spirituality and stress. So when Sister Kamala was speaking, standing there, half of this room was sleeping. Now, the surprising part was she actually had interesting things to share. She was all the things I told you before. She was telling a story. She was being dynamic. She was moving around. So much I could not calibrate the camera according to her. But nobody was listening. The problem was no control. अब control का मतलब क्या होता है? सब चुप हैं? नहीं. You have to do everything we just saw to make sure everyone is listening. Of course, in a class of 40, everyone won't listen. That is not possible. But the majority of them should listen. How do we ensure that? Make sure it's interesting. All the things we discuss. Story, frame of reference. Ask them a question.
I would like to start the presentation with by narrating a small story from my school time. So when I was in 8th standard, I hated geography. It was the worst subject for me. But one activity done by one of my teachers, I still remember. So the topic was layers of soil, and I was not interested in soil at all. So the teacher, they took us to the field and made us dig soil and collect that soil in a bottle, and then pour some water in it and shake it and keep it for a day. And the next day when we took that bottle again to the class, we saw that the layers had been separated. So there was pebbles at the bottom of the bottle, and then there was a thicker layer of soil, and at the top there was organic particles and something like that. So then we understood that what are different layers of soil. So this is one of the practical exercise that the teacher made us do, and it helped us learn. And I still remember that thing because I did it myself. So, if this activity had not been conducted by the teacher, I don't think that layers of soil would have been an interesting topic, or I would ever even thought of it. Even today, I think of it. So that is the topic of my presentation: learning by doing. So first, I would like to introduce this concept. This concept, learning by doing, was first presented and formalized by an American philosopher, John Dewey, in early 20th century. So he was an educational reformer, and he brought out this concept and made his students do things and learn from the outcomes of their own activities. So this hands-on approach is something that is used from the school time to college, and even whenever we learn something, we try to do it practically, then only we are able to learn it in a good manner. So again, it is a very theoretical thing. If you just tell them, okay, this is static website, this is how it is made, and this is a dynamic website. But when I gave them links, okay, open this website and open, for example, say Facebook, and see what's the difference. Each and every student opened their Facebook account at the same time, and everyone had saw something else on their homepage. So this is, again, they understood that, okay, this is a dynamic website which is different for everyone. It has their custom feed and all these kind of things. So they understood the difference between a static and a dynamic website.
Individually, because they are all at different levels. So what I have done previously also is that I take help of these students who already know the software.
Exactly.
You have to put them to the task of helping their friends out, because that obviously enhances their teamwork also. That makes them, that responsible, that okay, I have to teach this person such and such thing. They suddenly feel like, okay, I have some responsibility. I also know something, so the teacher is taking my help.
The best way that I take when I am teaching in the class is the conventional way of teaching, that the board and the what do you call it? Chalk and top. तो मैं अप्लाई करता हूँ पुराना स्टाइल. एक तो बोर्ड में समझाना कोई भी टॉपिक, चाहे वो प्रैक्टिकल तो हम दिखाई देते हैं, because there are practical lab classes also where we apply all the theoretical thing into practical, but उसमें भी हम लोग ट्राई करते हैं कि जितना से जितना हो सके बोर्ड में भी समझा दें. और ज़्यादा सतर्क होना मतलब यह है कि आपकी बातों को सुनेंगे, चाहे वो पैसिव लर्नर हो, एक्टिव लर्नर हो. पैसिव भी होगा, कान से तो जाएगा,
कान में तो जाएगा,
कुछ तो जाएगा.
Exactly.
I also do that. तो probably say for instance एक approach, जैसे say for instance मैं कुछ स्क्रीन प्ले के ऊपर कुछ teaching something on screenplay writing, say for instance, Rama's and Riya's bedroom. रिया एक लड़की है और उसके बेडरूम में है वो सीन चल रहा है एंड कब हो रहा है, रात को हो रहा है, सुबह को हो रहा है,
आपकी इच्छा है,
डे में हो रहा है. सो ये क्या है कि you have got ये आपका सीन हेडिंग बन गया, राइट. सो मैंने बोर्ड में बहुत अच्छे तरीके से समझा दिया कि कहाँ हो रहा है, अंदर हो रहा है सीन, बेडरूम के अंदर हो रहा है और ये सुबह का सीन है. ठीक है. सो दिस इज again rough, very easy.
He's emphasizing very easy, very easy.
Scene heading, right?
Doing this Blackboard thing, it's amazing, and it's a very good method of teaching as well. But then repeatedly doing the same thing is very
Absolutely.
tedious.
One more
so
thing.
For that, what happens is if you have a smart whiteboard,
Smart whiteboard,
interactive whiteboard, so there are softwares wherein you can capture your whatever you've taught in the class, the entire lecture.
Brilliant,
right?
For the students, after 2-3 classes, मैं जब भी जाता हूँ बोलता है अब पीपीटी नहीं, क्योंकि मैं पीपीटी पढ़ाते नहीं, बिकॉज वो बार बार पीपीटी देख के फोबिया हो चुका है.
हम एजुकेशन को कैसे ले रहे हैं? अब आप खुद कहते हैं एजुकेशन का पर्पस तो होता है आदमी वाइज बने और सही डिसीजन ले पाए. अब हमने सारा स्किल ओरिएंटेड कर दिया है ना, तो स्किल ओरिएंटेशन और क्योंकि हमने उसको जॉब के साथ जोड़ दिया, दैट हैज नेवर बीन द पर्पस ऑफ एजुकेशन एज सच.
स्किल को आप सेपरेट नहीं कर सकते. Thought in any case is important because ultimately there is one single line objective of education, that is to convert a person into a thinking human being. That's the ultimate objective, nothing more, nothing less. But then once a person has become a thinking person, now that person wants to do something in life. So obviously you have to have the skills, and in a technological age, if you don't have a skill, how will you communicate, how will you impart, how will you reach out the people? So that way skills are equally important.
That claim कि ये आजकल ये क्या बोलते हैं मल्टीटास्किंग को बहुत सिग्निफिकेंस दिया जा रहा है, जबकि मल्टीटास्किंग इज बैड, है ना. और जो ये एंगेजमेंट विद स्मार्ट क्लासेस, दिस पीपीटीज एंड ऑडियो विजुअल एंड आईसीटीज, मतलब आई पर्सनली, ये मेरा ओपिनियन है, मैं इससे थोड़ा सा दूर भागता हूँ फॉर अ रीजन, क्योंकि ये अलग तरीके का एंगेजमेंट करती है और किसी भी सब्जेक्ट के फिलोसफी के लेवल पे आपको जाने नहीं देती. आप देखिए जो सोशल साइंस के सबसे अच्छे डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं वहाँ पे आपको टेक्नोलॉजी से सबसे ज़्यादा डिस्टेंस मिलेगा, और जहाँ टेक्नोलॉजी सबसे ज़्यादा है वहाँ आदमी मशीन है.
So it's going to be a bit of technology involved in like whatever I'll be telling. And since now we are coming out of the industrial age and getting into like entire IT का पूरा सारा हो रहा है. नहीं अभी हो जाएगा, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट 5 years are going to be highly मतलब गेम चेंजिंग पूरा रहेगा. बहुत सारी चीज़ें और बहुत ड्रास्टिकली चेंज होगा. पहले हम 5 year plan 10 year plan करते थे. Now it is like you always used to say अच्छा 5 years down the line where do I want to see myself, okay? अब वो सब कुछ नहीं है. अब now you have to like set your markers कि ठीक है मेरे को next year how do I want to see myself, ठीक है next 6 months इस तरह से हो गया है. It's a very fast पेस में सारा कुछ चेंज हो रहा है. सो कमिंग टू एजुकेशन सिस्टम, of course today we'll be taking up like these 4 points. First is like conventional and flipped classes. हमारा मेन कंसर्न होता है, मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है कि आउटकम क्या चाहिए, ओके. फिर बेनिफिट्स, and then we'll be doing some activities. Iterating my terms as a teacher, और मैं मास्टर्स को तैयार कर रहा हूँ ब्लॉक्स रेडी करके और उसको मैं इंडस्ट्रीज में लगा रहा हूँ. सो दैट
सॉक्रेटिक अप्रोच ये है ही नहीं, वो तो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग और उसके आउटकम और उसके
नहीं. ये इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन जब हुआ था तब ये फिलॉसफी आया था जिसको कहा जाता है कि वो जो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग है वो उसके जगह हमें ये करना है कि हमें जो है, क्योंकि हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज तैयार हो गई, इसके लिए हमको मैन पावर चाहिए टू रन दीज इंडस्ट्रीज, ओके. तो हमको क्या करना है कि जो हमारे स्कूल में हमारे सेट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स आ रहे हैं, हम उनको एग्जैक्टली जैसे मैंने बनाया कोर्स करिकुलम ये होगा, ये पढ़ना है, ये करना है, आउटकम ये होना चाहिए. आई एम डिक्टेटिंग टर्म्स and then preparing them and setting them in the industries.
ICT as a tool in teaching.
So the topic is ICT as a tool in teaching. We all are aware that we are using it day in and day out information, communication and technology in our teaching methods. I would just like to substantiate that with my certain examples, certain things which I had learned during my teaching years, whatever I have done. So first of all, I would like to begin with the definition that was given by UNESCO, that ICT is a scientific, technological and engineering discipline and management technique used in handling information in application and association with social, economic and cultural aspects. Then the gross enrollment ratio is widely used to show the general level of participation in and capacity of higher education. And only 30%, this is a startling fact and we all are dealing with it, that only 30% of our graduates are readily employable. You all are aware that there was a news in Uttar Pradesh when there was a vacancy of this cleaning staff, and there were people who had PhDs, who had masters, and certain other degrees who had applied for that, and there was a complete lathi charge because there were so many applicants for that particular post. This speaks volumes of the quality of education which is existing and the number of jobs, the kind of jobs which are available. We all are aware that that digital media marketing and the other scopes which are right now the industry demands, the students lack there. This graph is a little small. It says that the age group between 0 to 15 is 34.3%. They will receive that particular information. And between 15 to 59, the percentage actually increases 58.7%.
इसके अंदर फिल्म है, ये फिल्म है, इसमें 10 फोटो आते हैं, ये देखिए क्लिकिंग होता है, ये क्लिकिंग है उसका। दूसरा लाइटर के अंदर कैमरा है, स्पाई कैमरा है, ये जो गांधी जी मानते थे वैसा कैमरा है। सेकंड वर्ल्ड वॉर में तो उस जमाने में स्पाई कैमरा ज्यादा बने थे। 2000 के आजू बाजू में आए डिजिटल कैमरे, स्टार्टिंग हुआ था, बढ़ते बढ़ते 2018 में तो एकदम मॉडिफिकेशन हो गया उनका। अपन एक चीज अच्छी भी है कि ऑन द स्पॉट अपन रिजल्ट देख सकते हैं। अब अपन क्या एक की जगह 4 क्लिक कर सकते हैं और डिलीट भी कर सकते हैं, जो रखना है वो रख सकते हैं। अभी मैं प्रेस फोटोग्राफी करता था, मिनिस्टर को हाथ निकालने का, तो उसी टाइम पे वो साल उड़ाता तो आना ही चाहिए फोटो। सब फोकसिंग सब करके रेडी रखना पड़ता था।